Welcome to Historical Crypto News, where we dig into the digital past to understand our future. Picture this. It's 2008. The global financial system is teetering on the brink of collapse. Banks are failing, trust is evaporating, and people are scared. Amidst this chaos, a mysterious figure, known only as Satoshi Nakamoto, quietly publishes a 9-page white paper online. Its title? Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. This wasn't just a paper. It was a blueprint for a revolution. A new form of money, completely digital, decentralized, and free from the control of any bank or government. On January 3, 2009, the Bitcoin network officially sparked to life. Satoshi mined the very first block, now famously known as the Genesis block. Embedded within its code was a hidden message, a headline from the Times newspaper, "Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks." It was a clear, defiant statement. This was a response to the very system that had just failed so spectacularly. In those early days, Bitcoin was a playground for a small group of cypherpunks and tech enthusiasts. Mining was something you could do on a regular home computer. You just run the software, and your computer's CPU would solve complex mathematical puzzles. For every puzzle solved, you'd be rewarded with 50 brand new Bitcoins. It was like digital gold panning from your desk. The community was tiny, communicating through forums and email lists. Bitcoins were traded for fun, a few thousand for a couple of pizzas in a now legendary transaction. At that point, its real-world value was practically zero. But things started to change, and fast. As more people joined the network, the puzzles, or the mining difficulty, automatically became harder to solve. This is a core feature of Bitcoin's design, ensuring that new blocks are found roughly every 10 minutes. No matter how much computing power is on the network, suddenly a standard CPU wasn't cutting it anymore. This kicked off an incredible technological arms race. First came the GPU era. Gamers and miners realized that graphics processing units, the cards designed to render complex 3D video game worlds, were vastly more efficient at solving Bitcoin's puzzles than CPUs. Mining farms started popping up in basements and garages, with racks of whirring graphics cards working day and night. The sound of fans became the sound of money being created. This era also marked a shift in the blockchain itself. Developers began to see Bitcoin as more than just digital cash. They saw the potential of the underlying technology, the blockchain. This distributed, immutable ledger could be used for so much more. This is when the first altcoins or alternative cryptocurrencies began to emerge, trying to improve on Bitcoin's design, some offering faster transactions, others more privacy. The ecosystem was expanding. The GPU era, however, was just a stepping stone. The real game-changer was the arrival of SICs, or application-specific integrated circuits. These were chips designed for one purpose and one purpose only: to mine Bitcoin at superhuman speeds. A single ASIC machine could outperform hundreds of GPUs, making them instantly obsolete for Bitcoin mining. The rise of ASICs professionalized the industry. Hobbyist mining became nearly impossible. Massive, warehouse-sized data centers were built, often in places with cheap electricity like Iceland or parts of China, packed with tens of thousands of screaming ASIC miners. The energy consumption of the network skyrocketed, sparking intense debates about its environmental impact that continue to this day. Mining was no longer a hobby. It was a multi-billion-dollar global industry. As the mining industry evolved, so did the Bitcoin network. The community faced its first major crisis: scalability. The original design limited the number of transactions that could be processed in each block, leading to slow confirmation times and high fees during periods of high demand. This led to the block size wars, a fierce, multi-year debate within the community. How could Bitcoin grow to handle a global user base? Two main philosophies emerged. One side argued for increasing the block size directly, allowing more transactions per block. The other side favored a more cautious approach, implementing clever solutions off-chain or on secondary layers. The debate became so heated that it eventually resulted in a hard fork, splitting the blockchain in two. Bitcoin Cash was born, a new cryptocurrency that increased the block size, while the original Bitcoin network went a different route, implementing a solution called Segregated Witness or SegWit. SegWit was a clever software upgrade that made transactions more efficient and, crucially, paved the way for second-layer solutions like the Lightning Network. The Lightning Network is like an express lane for Bitcoin. It allows for near-instant, incredibly cheap transactions that are later settled on the main blockchain. It was a major leap forward, addressing the scalability problem without changing Bitcoin's core rules. Then came another evolution: Taproot. This was one of the most significant upgrades in Bitcoin's history. It enhanced privacy and efficiency, but most importantly, it dramatically improved Bitcoin's smart contract capabilities. While not as complex as other platforms like Ethereum, Taproot opened the door for more sophisticated applications to be built directly on the world's most secure and decentralized blockchain. This brings us to today, or rather, our projected 2026. The Bitcoin network is more robust than ever. The mining industry has become a global dance for energy efficiency, with miners constantly seeking out the cheapest and increasingly greenest sources of power. Renewable energy-powered mining operations are no longer a niche, but a major trend driven by both economic and social pressure. The blockchain itself is no longer just a simple ledger for payments. Thanks to innovations like Taproot and other developing layers, we're seeing a burgeoning ecosystem of decentralized finance, or DeFi, and even NFTs known as ordinals being built on top of Bitcoin. The Lightning Network has matured, making micropayments for everyday things like a cup of coffee not just possible, but practical and widespread. From a mysterious white paper in 2008 to a global financial network in 2026, Bitcoin's journey has been a story of constant innovation, conflict, and evolution. It survived skepticism, internal wars, and technological arms races to become what it is today: a resilient, decentralized asset and a platform for a new generation of financial technology. The code written by the anonymous Satoshi Nakamoto set in motion a chain reaction that continues to reshape our world. What started with a single CPU in a quiet room now involves a global network of miners, developers, and users, all participating in this grand digital experiment. The history of Bitcoin is still being written block by block every 10 minutes. Thanks for joining us on Historical Crypto News. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in another story.